are my top makeup products from 2022 that I can't live without going into the new year. First, Summer Friday sunscreen. This is that glow from within, and it's the perfect step before your makeup. The Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury is an absolute yes. Makes you look airbrushed and healthy. I love this under foundation or on its own. You can't go wrong with it. My two favorite setting sprays, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush. This will make your makeup last so long. The Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist does exactly what it says, dewy skin, and it looks so gorgeous. For blush, we have Pixi and Rare Beauty. This is their Tinted Moisture Stick, so easy to apply. I love the color. It's the perfect everyday shade. Here's some different shots so you can see it in different lighting. Next, we have Rare Beauty. I think this broke the internet. Everyone talked about it, but for good reason. It's so creamy, blendable, and look at that color. For bronzer, we have the Chanel Le Beige. I love the color of this. I use a stipple brush, and it blends out really nice. It's a little bit more matte than my Rare Beauty one, and I think that's why this one wins out a little more. I use this all the time. I love how easy it is to apply. It's creamy and just gorgeous. For concealer, I have two very different formulas. I use the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye when I need a lot of help and my bags are screaming. This is very full coverage and matte. For everyday, I use the Kosas concealer. This is worth the hype. It is so gorgeous on the skin. It's just a major win for the dry skin community, so thank you, Kosas. Next, brow products. These two single-handedly saved my 2022. Just look at my brows in the next two photos. That is the doing of God's work and God's work alone, and I believe these were crafted by him. It just makes you look so fluffy and put together without trying. I got rid of my lash extensions for good reason, and these two are my saving grace. The Shiseido eyelash curler will lift you to the sky, and the Bad Gal Bang is the best mascara. It's an absolute must-have. I could not pick one highlighter, so I picked three. First, Rare Beauty. This is fairly new. I like this for every day because it's not like bam in your face, but looks pretty on the skin. Next, we have the Benefit Cookie Highlighter. This is so underrated. I love this one. It's definitely a ride or die. I just think, chef's kiss. Then we have Iconic London. If you want to be seen from outer space, this is your girl. Like, she's so pretty. Now, lips. Lips are very important to me. The Maybelline Vinyls are my favorite. I love the shade Koi. This is great for if I'm going out. Then we have the Tarte Lip Plumps. These are everything. I'm telling you, they make your lips look so good. This Hourglass palette has a chokehold on me. It's the only thing I want to use to finish off my makeup. You will look kissed by an angel. And last but not least, my makeup drying fan. I use this to dry down all of my products faster.
Welcome back to another brutally honest review, and today I'm reviewing every single product I've tried from Merit. As always, honesty only. I am not afraid to get kicked off PR lists, but I do think this is going to be one of the most positive reviews I've ever given of a brand. First up, we have the Minimalist Perfecting Complexion Stick, and I have this in shade Linen. I honestly think this is so easy to use. You can literally swipe it everywhere on your face, and it works perfect as either a foundation or a concealer. Definitely has like a light to medium buildable coverage. It never looks cakey, and it's perfect for if you're going for that like natural airbrush makeup look. Next up, we have their Bronze Balm. This is a new favorite for me, and this is in shade Clay. This stick is literally so easy to swipe on, and it's so fun to draw on your face with this already. It's not super pigmented, but it's got a good amount of pigment. It is super easy to swipe on again, and it never leaves me looking patchy once I blend it out, so I really like this. Next up, we have the Flush Balms, which you can also tell that I definitely love. These are very similar to the bronzer in that they are super easy to swipe on. They give you a beautiful wash of color, but they're not like super pigmented. But yes, super easy to build up. Absolutely never leave me looking patchy, and they're just like the perfect dewy blush. Next up, we have their Signature Lip Lightweight Lipstick, and this is in shade Lavenue. I think that's how you pronounce it, but it is a really pretty like berry brown, and here's a swatch. It is gorgeous. This shade specifically, if you want to look elegant, absolutely go for it. This is a gorgeous shiny lipstick, and I can't believe that more people don't talk about this. Next up, we have the Highlighting Balm, and I have this in shade Cava, which is this really pretty like champagne shade. I'll even give you a swatch of that. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. This is definitely one of my favorite stick highlighters ever. It gives you a really pretty, like, natural looking dewy highlight. And again, this deserves more hype. I am so impressed. Next up, we have their Solo Shadow, and I have this in shade Mid-Century, which is like a warm brown shade that I do think is a little too warm for me. So this definitely isn't a super creamy eyeshadow formula. It's definitely very matte, and I have tried using a finger to blend this out before, but I definitely think it's way better if you use a brush. Just much easier to blend out in general. But when you do use a brush, this can give you like a really pretty wash of color to your eyelids. And honestly, like the pigment on this, it's not crazy, but it's super easy to build up, and it's still got a good amount of pigment. So I definitely want to try more shades of this. And last but not least, we have their lip oils. I have the Shade Slick Tinted Lip Oil in shade Sangria, and then I have the Shade Slick Gelée Tinted Lip Oil in shade Mapleton. The Gelée is definitely more of like a jelly lip oil texture, but it still is pretty moisturizing and isn't like a sticky lip oil at all. It's just not a super thick formula. And then the tinted lip oil definitely has the most similar texture to like what I would expect of a lip oil. Like it's definitely more oily and it's not like a super thick texture, not sticky at all. I really like the wash of color that both of these give my lips. Although this one is clearly more sheer. I'm convinced that I will always be impressed by Merit's products. Let me know what reviews you want to see next. Welcome back to another brutally honest review, and today I am reviewing every single product I've tried from Charlotte Tilbury. As always, honesty only, I am not afraid to get kicked off PR lists, so let's get into it. So first up, we have the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, and honestly, I really like this if you're looking for a setting spray that keeps your makeup in place and gives you a dewy finish. It does have like a very slight fragrance, I will say that, but I really do like the way this keeps my makeup in place while making it look dewy and glazed. It's gorgeous. Next up, we have the Hollywood Contour Wand, and I have this in shade Fair Medium. This, honestly, I would not call it a contour because it is definitely more of a bronzer. I have warm neutral undertones and this is way too warm for a contour. And you have to blend like the wind when you're using this if you want it to look good. This dries down so fast. So if you don't want it to turn out patchy, you better blend quickly. If you do blend fast enough, this looks really pretty as a bronzer, not a contour. Next up, we have the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer, and I have this in shade 4.5 Fair. I really wanted to like this one, but it did get kind of patchy under my under eyes, and it also didn't cover very well around my face. It just turned out patchy on me, and I could really see the glitter in this too. So yeah, this was not my favorite. I'm sorry. I have combination skin, just so you know. Next up, we have the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have this in shade 2 Fair, and honestly, like, I really like to use this as a skin tint personally. I know some people have gotten mad at me and said like, no, this is a primer, but I do like to use it as a skin tint, although you obviously can use it under foundation too. I really like the luminous glow that this gives my skin. It even gives me like a little bit of light coverage, which is really pretty. But yeah, I have never noticed any kind of cakiness with this, and I think it's really pretty. However, it is overpriced, especially because the e.l.f. one exists. Both of those literally look almost identical, so get the e.l.f. and save yourself the extra money. Next up, we have the Magic Eye Rescue Cream. Honestly, there's really nothing special about this, and it's just, eye creams in general are just overpriced moisturizers. Like, I'm just gonna say that right off the bat. This has like a lightweight cream texture and I don't notice any fragrance. Like, I've smelled it and I don't notice any fragrance really standing out like I do with the moisturizer. But still, you don't need to be paying so much for an eye cream when a moisturizer for sensitive skin can give you like the exact same results. Just save your money. Next up, we have the Charlotte's Magic Cream, which I'm sure you guys have heard of before. And this is honestly just so ridiculously overpriced too. This is like, it's got a nice like rich moisturizer texture, but it also does have fragrance. So yeah, it's gonna be moisturizing, but if you have more sensitive skin, this could potentially irritate you. So you do not want to blow an insane amount of money on a rich moisturizer that has the potential of irritating your skin when there are so many options out there that are tested for sensitive skin and are still rich and can still give you the moisturizing results that you're looking for. I know it's aesthetic, but don't waste your money on this, please. Next up, we have the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand, and I have this in shade Pinkgasm. I personally think the applicators of this and the contour wand are really cute. I like the applicators, but yeah, this one also dries down pretty quickly, but it does give you like a really pretty glow if you are able to blend it out. It's definitely like a highlighting blush. It's very shimmery, and this one's a gorgeous shade too, the Pinkgasm shade. I do really like this one. Next up, we have the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize eyeshadows, and I have these in shades Champagne and Oyster Pearl, which I still need to test out. These honestly have to be my favorite shimmery cream eyeshadows at this point. They give you the most gorgeous shimmer to your eyes, and they're honestly like so easy to just swipe on. They also don't crease on my eyes. This one is Champagne, and I just think it is absolutely gorgeous. Perfect for if you're looking for like a shiny date night eye look. Yeah, I honestly really like these, and I think they are super underrated, and I haven't noticed any creasing with them. And last but not least, we have the Airbrush Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Micro Powder, and I have this in shade Fair. I am a sucker for a good press setting powder, and this stuff gets the job done. From my experience, this blurs beautifully. It even gives you like a little boost of coverage on top of your concealer, which I love, and none of my makeup creased while using this. Stuff lasted all day. So yeah, I really like this one and I am very impressed. If you watched through this video, as always, thank you so much, and let me know what brutally honest reviews you want to see next.
This is the darkest shade of the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand, and that's not very dark at all. This looks like it could be my shade. Let's try it on. Let's blend that out. May have used a little too much. This is barely my contour shade. Like, it's there, but it's definitely not gonna work for me when I look like this in 3 months. The line currently only has 2 shades. Like, I've literally seen white people using this shade. I love Charlotte Tilbury and their aesthetic and their products are really good, but what is this shade range, girl?